6 powerhouse plants to revive dead soil in October. You can't fix dead soil overnight, but you can plant it back to life this October. What if instead of watching your bed sit idle, you sow 6 specific revival plants that work as living soil doctors, pumping nutrients, loosening tough soil, suppressing weeds, and building organic matter, all while you wait for your next cash crop season? In this video, I'll walk you through 6 plants you can introduce now, explain how each one helps, and show you how to use them strategically for maximum effect. Let's dive right in. No fluff, just field-tested methods you can use. Why October is the right time to work the soil. By October, many of your summer crops are gone. The soil is often tired, depleted of nitrogen, perhaps compacted or eroded, but the season is still warm enough for cover crops or green manures to establish roots. These living plants will hold the soil, feed it, and prepare it for your next growing season. Researchers and extension services recommend planting fall cover crops before frost hits to give them time to settle in. Now, let's get into 6 plants that I, speaking as a gardener's companion on Crop Corner, trust to turn dead soil into working soil by the next planting season. Number 1. Hairy vetch, the nitrogen builder. Hairy vetch, or Vicia villosa, is a legume that excels at atmospheric nitrogen fixation. While it builds leafy mass, it also sends nodules of rhizobia down its roots, capturing nitrogen from the air and converting it into a form your future crops can use. In October, sow hairy vetch thinly across your beds, wait until spring before your main crop, then cut or mow it while it's still lush, before full bloom, and incorporate it into the soil. Its decomposition releases nitrogen and organic matter. Because its roots also help break up subsurface compaction, it's a dual-purpose helper. Winter rye, also known as sickle cereal, is really the soil protector and structure builder you want on your team. If you need something tough, winter rye is your buddy. It survives the cold, sends its roots deep, and holds soil against erosion during those wet, stormy months. Now, it doesn't fix nitrogen, but it sure adds bulk organic matter and improves soil structure when you cut it down and till it in later. Go ahead and plant rye now in October, so its roots have time to get established before the frost. In spring, you can mow it, chop it, or even use it as a mulch. Then just mix all that biomass right into your soil to feed the microbes and build up that rich humus. Crotalaria junca, sometimes called sun hemp, is the fast-growing green mass maker, especially in warm climates or during mild autumns. It's a real workhorse, grows fast, produces a ton of biomass, and fixes nitrogen along the way. Plus, it helps suppress weeds by shading the soil, which is always a bonus. Sow it in October in any free beds you've got. Before it starts flowering, cut it and work it into the soil. Because it grows so quickly, you end up with a lot of green matter to feed the microbial life below. Buckwheat is your quick cover crop and phosphorus mobilizer. Seriously, it can rescue your soil in just a few weeks. It's especially good at freeing up phosphorus that's otherwise locked away in less available forms. Since it matures so quickly, you can grow and incorporate it within the fall window, even if you're a bit pressed for time. Just sow buckwheat in October, and after 4 to 6 weeks, or before the frost hits, go ahead and cut and till it. Its roots help loosen up the topsoil and its biomass turns into organic matter really fast. So, Tephrosia vogeli is a fantastic long-term soil enricher, especially suited for tropical regions like much of Kenya. This leguminous shrub can be intercropped or even used as a green manure. It's pretty tolerant of poor soils, fixes nitrogen, and, well, it steadily builds up organic matter over time. Now, while it works a bit slower than annual cover crops, it really does offer perennial benefits, helping to rebuild soil across multiple seasons. You can go ahead and plant Tephrosia in October, either in sections or along the borders of your farm. As it grows, just cut its biomass and incorporate it into the soil, or simply chop and drop it as a mulch. Honestly, it's especially good if you're aiming for longer-term soil restoration. Crimson clover, or Trifolium incarnatum, is honestly both a beauty and a real soil worker. It grows in the fall, fixes nitrogen, and, if you plant it early enough, often blooms in the spring. Its legacy is really twofold. You get soil improvement and, at the same time, a habitat for pollinators. So, plant crimson clover in October. When spring comes, before it goes to seed, just mow or cut it and turn it in. The decomposed material will release nitrogen and organic carbon into your soil. Now, how do you actually sequence and combine these plants for the best results? Well, don't just pick one. Mix and match, honestly. In many cases, a blend of grasses like rye and legumes such as vetch or crimson clover gives you both structure and fertility. This complementary strategy is, widely recommended in cover crop science. Here's a practical approach for your farm or garden. For bed layout, in one bed, plant a mixture of hairy vetch and winter rye. In another, go for crotalaria alone or with buckwheat. Around the perimeter or in those less used zones, plant tephrosia or crimson clover. As for seeding timing, aim to sow at least 4 to 6 weeks before your first expected frost, giving roots time to establish. When it comes to cutting and incorporation, in spring, mow or cut before flowering. For grass species, it's better to mow rather than let them set seed, just to avoid them becoming weeds. Then, turn the cut plant matter into or onto the soil to feed microbial life. For rotation, after incorporating, wait about 2 to 3 weeks before planting your main crop so decomposition can happen. In subsequent cycles, rotate the species. One caveat though, avoid letting any of these plants mature to seed or they might reseed aggressively. Also, if your area is prone to wireworm or specific pests, grasses like rye may attract egg-laying insects. So, what should you expect? Real soil transformation, honestly. You'll start seeing results beneath the surface more than above it. The root systems from rye and buckwheat break up tight zones. Legumes like vetch and clover flood your soil with nitrogen. Microbes respond rapidly, decomposing roots and biomass, turning them into humus and improving soil structure, water retention, and nutrient cycling. Over time, your dead, weary soil comes alive with earthworm activity, microbial diversity, and this tender crumb-like texture. Sure, you might see a green mat above ground, but that's not wasted space. That living mulch is doing the heavy lifting for you. At the end of the season, when it's finally time to plant your main crops, you'll thank yourself for the effort you put in back in October. The beds will be richer, friendlier to roots, and a lot less dependent on synthetic fertilizer. If you found this guide practical and powerful, join the Crop Corner community. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with every gardener you know. Let's keep dead soil from being a death sentence. Turn it into your best asset.